a day like today, give me your impression. And when I say a day like today, apart from the birthday of Mr. President-elect, for that is indeed the case, maybe you cast your mind back a bit and reflect on, one, the emergence of Bola Tinubu as a president-elect, and then this occasion of his birthday.
Well, I think it's a double celebration. Bola Tinubu is one of the heroes of Nigeria's struggle against military rule, in which some of us were lucky to also play a part. And he was one of our leaders who were driven into exile.
That's right.
And were also, so they were leaders of the National Democratic Coalition in the US, and we were in Nigeria here, where we were running a magazine called TEL. TEL was at the forefront of the media opposition to military rule. So why do I call it a double celebration? Bola Tinubu is celebrating his 71st birthday, and Nigeria is also celebrating the triumphs of democracy. Whatever we can say, this election that has just passed, yes, it has been controversial, but it's one of the most peaceful elections we have ever held since 1999. When you look at the record.
Which is not to say it wasn't without isolated incidents.
No, it is one of the most peaceful in most parts of the country. It has emphasized for Nigerians that for anybody to come to power in this country, you must learn to create bridges. There is no region in this country that is powerful enough, that is large enough, that is rich enough to claim the presidency without the cooperation of other people. That is what had just happened.
And in that area, I guess it's also, what you're saying, I can also deduce from that the presidential quest is hardly something you sort of dedicate a couple of months, even a couple of years towards preparing for. Tinubu has been in the trenches, so to speak, for this particular time. It goes back, some say, as far as 3 decades ago, when nobody had an inkling. But you see, with you guys, you very senior journalists, you would have had your ears to the ground all that while. Did you have a notion all that time ago that this might be in the offing, even if it wasn't explicitly stated?
Well, I think Tinubu has been a member of the power game for many years. So in 2003, when it was possible for the PDP to overrun the Southwest, Bola Tinubu was able to hold Lagos. And that became a staging post for his own brand of politics to regroup, to rebrand, and to relaunch the offensive. So as the leader of that resistance movement that finally became triumphant, it is not, for him to do that, he has to transform himself from just a Lagos leader to a national player. And being a national player, he has done very well with it. As I said earlier, it's not possible to stay on your region alone and play the national game. So it is from that 2003 onward, he has been playing the national game, and this is the
Combination
of it.
And again, as you are saying, it's all about bridges, as you've just said, that no person from his own region alone could do it. And there are people say that Bola Tinubu is a master build bridger when it comes to that. The pace of his campaign was grueling. It went all over the country. It cut up and down the length and breadth of Nigeria, which is a further testimony to what you've just said, that he was very, very serious and indeed very, very successful. Just before you came in on our program, we had some other people. There was the Governor Ganduje. They were all speaking about this leader of leaders is how it was put. So, and here we are today. But let me now speak with you as an observer of the polity, as a journalist, noting and recording what was going on, things that have been going on. Tinubu himself, I want to start with federalism. This whole question of federalism, is that on the one hand, and then I think Tinubu was part of those who were asking for what is known as true federalism. There's federalism on the one hand, which is, you remember when we sort of adopted the presidential system of government in '79 from America, power has largely been, leaning, or it all tilts towards the center. True federalism, for some reason, is looked at as with suspicion by some. Why do you think that is?
Well, some people feel that power should remain domiciled essentially at the central level. There are two areas about this. First, the soldiers who led us to where we are now, they were engaged in the Civil War. Many of them died. Many of them know their colleagues who died for it. So they are very suspicious when you are talking of regionalism and devolution of powers. They feel that if power is too devolved from the central, it might lead to another crisis, which will lead to soldiers going to war and officers burying their men. So this is a cautionary tale. But in the end, a product to remain successful must continuously reinvent himself. And we have seen that the current system of federalism is not working properly for us. And why is it not working properly for us? First, the government should provide facilities that should make life easier for the common people. Mm-hmm. The government at the federal level seems unable to do this adequately. Secondly, the government should be able to provide hope for the teeming people, majority of the people. Because the government is not able to provide all this, it is diminishing the level of hope for the younger people, which is leading to the epidemic of young people trying to run away from the country. Thirdly is the epidemic of unemployment. Mm-hmm. Unemployment in Nigeria has reached epidemic proportion. When you look at it, many young people are unemployed, underemployed, or because of the level, what has happened to education in Nigeria, unemployable. So can all these things be tackled at the center? I believe that it cannot be so. So those who are political leaders in Nigeria need to think of how to reinvent the federation. And from my own humble reasoning, I believe we should re-examine where we are coming from. I believe seriously that we have too many states, 36 states as federated units. I think we can also look at what the Constitutional Conference under General Abacha came out with, which is what they called the zones as the federated unit. And under that Abacha Constitutional Conference, which many of us didn't like, but at least we must know that some things are good from it. We have the Northwestern Zone, the Northeastern Zone, mm-hmm. the North Central Zone, the Southwestern Zone, the South-South Zone, and the Southeastern Zone. Those are 6. We should think about it so that we don't continuously carry so much heavy weight at the center, while the regional zones are not doing enough. There's no reason why the Southwest should not have its own railway corporation. There's no reason why they should not have their own railway. There's no reason why there should not be a railway line from Lagos to Akure or Ado-Ekiti.